identifying viable tech startups within this ecosystem who are positioned to take us to the next phase. I always tell founders when I sit down in rooms to talk to them that, and this is on a lighter note, that Nigeria has 99 problems, and so we can have 99 founders. So never think that your innovation is not an innovation, because at the end of the day, there's nothing new that you want to say to me that I've not heard before. But the new thing you're saying to me is the improvement on what the next person has done before.
And so as we think about our expansion, we need to make sure that we're not just solving the problems for the largest businesses in Nigeria. We're doing so for small and medium businesses and consumers. Because today, small and medium businesses and consumers have to worry so much about how to make payments. There's just so many things that are outside the core scope of their business. And so where I think fintech can play a core role is ensuring that these businesses can focus on just that.
Providing very simplified payments to people, connecting businesses and consumers to lifestyle and payments in a nutshell.
So if you look at the ecosystem today of what traditional financial systems have typically done, fintech is really just saying how do we embed technology into the entire value chain to make things quicker, faster, and more convenient. There are people that are doing things around accounts management, right? People doing things around blockchain and crypto. People that are building innovation around payments like us, web acquiring, offline payments, merchant aggregation. There are people building around operations and infrastructure.
Issues can be achieved by fintechs who well define their strategies. If you well define your strategy, you'll be able to navigate this complex, regulatory procedures. Also, professionals, entrepreneurs would also be able to do this by collaborating with legal and compliance experts in order for them to be able to ensure that their organizations meet regulatory requirements and avoid potential pitfalls.
In the situation we find ourselves in the global economy, even in the microeconomy in Nigeria, still remain here because of the relevance of Nigeria, and we must become intentional about this country and about this continent.
And any economy that will thrive, like we've seen in most emerging entities, there must be people that you can call pioneers that are driving and creating the blueprints in terms of where we are going. I understand the place of revenue, I understand the place of profit making and growth within the organization, but there must be a point where all this will converge and you talk about what exactly could be the roadmap going forward. It's just not enough for everybody to wake up and think, yes, there's this creativity, I'm running into it. So I think, and I'm sure I will be correct, with the statement that CWG has been a pioneer when it comes to transformational innovation and in the technology landscape in Nigeria. We're an organization of over 32 years. 2 years ago, we floated our fintech subsidiary called Fifth Lab. You see a lot of organizations that have come after us. Some of them got the blueprints based on the roadmap CWG followed. We got a lot of things right. We got some not too right, but at least it gave people the courage for them to be able to start. And we're seeing that level of growth in the technology landscape in Nigeria today.
We chose innovation this year because we know that in this digital age, if you don't innovate, you die. And that is what we believe every organization needs at this point in time, especially how technology is growing. We can see the rapid change in technology and how fast technology is evolving. If you don't innovate, you die, and that is why our emphasis, our focus is on innovation.
I think the telco industry have actually catapulted what is required for us to leapfrog and actually catch up with the Western world. We have invested about up till today in billions of dollars, and we plan to invest in billions of dollars more in the next couple of years. It's something you walk around and you don't have to look too far. You see the impact that
that brings together thought leaders across the industry to ask critical questions about how we can do better and do more and innovate further. And so to be a part of that is a great honor.
I think in today's world and in Africa, as some of the speakers were saying earlier, there's so much innovation happening here, and clients are being forced to innovate, which is really good, especially based on new policies that were brought in. So going cashless, for example, digital wallets, digital media, everything is going digital. So what we suggest is, as these new innovations come and these companies are building these new innovative solutions, is to keep the threat of ransomware, of any cybersecurity and data protection in their mind from the start. So when they build these applications, don't think of it later and then figure out how are we going to protect this. Think of it right from the start and make it part of the mindset so that you build it with the right protection built in from the start.
It's about value. If you have value to give, people will be willing to pay for it. If it makes sense, I mean, if it makes sense, it translates to something that people would appreciate. We need to become more valuable. It's gone are the days where we're talking about just mineral resources in the subsurface. We have great minds, and you can see it. People are thriving, they're doing well. What I think the missing part is the enabling environment. I'll take Nigeria as a case study. We want banks, we have banks, the banks are the most thriving institutions in the country. Why is that? When you look at the US or the Western nations, I mean, you talk about the big wigs, I mean, talk about Dell, that I work for, talk about Microsoft, talk about Google, talk about the big corporations. See Africa. If you look around, maybe 50% of people carrying smartphones are carrying Apple. The other, maybe 40%, maybe Samsung, and the others. When you buy these smartphones, where is the money going to? It's going back to the US. It's going back to those corporations. So we are buying finished products. We are consuming content. But the privilege we even have to create what we have to create and exchange for value, we are being underpriced. It's time we are on the table with real value. It's time the government across the whole continent starts to create the environment to help the citizens to have a leverage. Nigeria, for example, as we speak, we're still struggling with unique identification. If you don't have my identity, how then do you want to give me loans? How then do you want to trust me? How then so it's the basics needs to be in place for us to be able to leverage and have the platform to leverage. The basic infrastructure in terms of identification in the digital space, all needs to be in place.
Innovation and lifestyle. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. www.youtube.com/Digivation Network.